I heard this: show me your faith by your deeds. Some people will say, well, I have the faith, but I have no deeds. Well, I don't know if that's real faith, because real faith acts upon it. We talked about me stepping on faith and leaving the place that I was working at, although I did not know where I'm going to go or what the next step is. The moment I left, I felt an instinct in my heart, and I felt like we should rent our house. We wanted to go into Europe, and we wanted to just rent the house while we're gone. And I talked to my husband about it, and he said, okay, that sounds like a great idea. We were going to be away for about 2 months or so. So we decided to put the house on Airbnb, and we prepared the house, and we started believing that we're going to have a renter before we leave. And that was about 2 weeks or so until we had to take off. And we have all our belongings in the house, and it was a lot of cleanup to do, and it was everything we had to get rid of, all of our belongings. And we would tell people that we are renting the house, and everyone would say, it was like, well, you're about to leave, do you have a renter? And we said no, but I believe the renter will come. And a week went by, and no one was inquiring about the house. Then a few more days, no one was inquiring about the house, and we're still preparing everything as if we have the renter, as if the house is already rented. We got to the point where we had to take everything out of the house, all of it, all our belongings, and it was the very last day before we were supposed to go to Europe, and we still did not have a renter. And I remember it was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon when someone reached out to me and said, hey, I'm really interested in the house. My husband and I, we were literally just about to leave the house, and this man reached out to us and said, I would actually like to take the house. And it amazed me that when you step out on faith, things happen. You know, unless we have the faith, it's basically we don't open the doors to miracle. But the moment you have the faith, then miracles will come in, because we have made room for it. You know, we prepared the house as if we had the renter, as if the house was already rented. And what was interesting was that the renter who ended up renting the house wanted the house for exactly the same amount of time that we were going for. So sometimes we have these ideas or the instinct that we should do certain things, but we don't act upon it because we believe, oh, maybe God needs to show up. He already gave you the idea. He already gave you the instinct. He already gave you the right intuition. Now it's up to you on what you do with it. It's up to you on how you step up and what kind of action do you take. Because unless you take the action, miracles cannot happen. Unless you show active faith, things, I call it supernatural or miracles, cannot take place, because then it means you still hold on to it. And what I found interesting is that most of the time the miracles will happen at the 11th hour, just like it happened with us. And maybe it happens like that because sometimes it takes us a longer time to let go, and only in that complete let go, that's when God can do his work. That's when miracles take place. That's when things start to manifest. But as long as you hold on to your idea of how they should work, they don't really happen. So my advice to you is this: step in on faith. And the way you show your active faith is by taking active steps towards fulfilling that dream, that purpose, that desire that God put in your heart.